YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to Paul's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're continuing our series of playthrough Pokemon Crystal in order of the Pokédex. A couple weeks ago, we played through with Dunsparce. Last week, we played through with Dunsparce Optimized. Today, we're continuing with the Pokédex and playing through with Gligar. Gligar is a very interesting Pokemon. It's one of the coolest designs in this generation, to be honest with you. Very a lost Pokemon. You don't really hear about it very much because it gets overshadowed by its evolution in the next gen Gliscor. But Gligar is pretty cool, and it's got a really cool name. It's called the Fly Scorpion Pokemon. Don't know what that is. It has like claws. It has like Batman ears, and I'm a big Batman fan if you didn't know that. It's got fangs. Its tongue's out, like taunting you, and it's got tail. It's just like a cool design. Let's look at the stats of this Pokemon. We'll dive into the playthrough. HP 65, attack is 75, defense is 105, special attack is 35, special defense 65, and speed is 85. Special attack being 35 is our lowest stat. We're not going to utilize this very much. However, we do have one move that utilizes special, and that's Feint Attack, and that will be used in a very, very advantageous way when we have a huge type advantage. We will utilize that move, but everything else is great. Great attack, great speed, great defense, decent HP, and decent special defense. Without further ado, let's dive into this Pokemon. Usually in my solo challenges, the first thing I like to talk about is our first rival battle. However, today we're going to talk about our first move, which is Poison Sting, a poison move that is 15 base power, 100% accurate, and it might poison opposition. We are not a poison type, so this is not a stab move or nothing. It is garbage. We may look like a poison type. We are a flying scorpion after all. However, we are not poison type. We are ground flying, and it takes forever to knock out a level 2 Sentient. This is what I wanted to show you, just so you know the gravity of this Pokemon. Is the early game is going to be slow because we have nothing powerful at all. Let's move on to our first rival battle. His name is Triple Question Mark, as per tradition. We gave him a Totodile. It is a water type where a ground type makes sense. We named our Pokemon Gargoyle, and as you can see here, we are 3 levels higher. We did over level a little bit, and because of how little this move does, we are forced to over level and face every trainer and every encounter early in this game, and we don't want to. And now in the optimized playthrough, we're going to find a way around that and be a little bit faster. But let's go ahead and talk about some things about this Pokemon while we're doing some training. First thing, we are a ground flying Pokemon, so we have weakness to 2 things, water and ice. There's not a lot of water and ice types in this game, so that's not the biggest deal in the world. And we have a gym leader we have to deal with that's ice type. However, he's kind of incompetent, so that's not going to be a problem. We are immune to the ground and the electric types, and we also resist fighting, poison, and bug type. So that's pretty good typing, honestly. You can do a lot worse. I don't know if you can do much better, but that's a pretty good typing. We also want to look at our level up move pool. Not very good. We get Poison Sting, Sand Attack, Harden, Quick Attack, Feint Attack, Slash, Screech, and Guillotine. A couple of these moves we're not going to use, but we do end up using Quick Attack for a little bit. We end up using Feint Attack, but only really against Ghost and Psychic type Pokemon, even though our special is pretty abysmal. I'm afraid that our special attack is pretty abysmal. This is not Generation 1. Slash is a good move, but by the time we learn it, we're kind of at the point where we have Return, so we don't really need Slash anymore. Screech could have been useful, I guess, but not in a lot of ways. Guillotine is a move that I did not utilize to its fullest extent in this playthrough, and I will correct that in the optimized playthrough. Now that we've gone over the level up move pool, let's look at the TM move pool for this Pokemon. The moves are, I'm not going to go through every move, but I want you to look at this and see if you see any ground or flying type. Same thing with the level up move pool. There was only one ground move in there, and that was Sand Attack. This Pokemon does not get Earthquake, Dig, or Mud Slap, and it is a ground type Pokemon. It makes no sense. Game Freak really has this problem where they make a great Pokemon, then have a horrible job executing things about it. Like, its stats are okay, I can live with the stats, but it has literally nothing that it can do to damage you or attack you or whatever that is not stab. Unless you have like an optimized version like I'm going to have, where you have certain moves that are either egg moves or event moves, whatever. This Pokemon gets access to Iron Tail, don't know why. It gets access to Sludge Bomb. Venusaur is a poison grass type, and it does not get access to Sludge Bomb, but somehow this Pokemon gets access to Sludge Bomb. We get access to Fury Cutter. Pineco and Fortress both did not get access to Fury Cutter. Somehow this Pokemon gets access to it. It does not make sense. It is extremely frustrating, and this is the Pokemon we have to play through. We do find a way to mitigate a lot of these things. So the early game's kind of slow, but we do speed it up because we played the game very well. So we're finishing up with these Pidgeys, and we're going to dive into our battle against Faulkner. Faulkner is a flying gym leader. Now here's what would be great if we had a flying move. As soon as we beat Faulkner, we'd have a boost to all of our flying type moves. However, we don't, because we don't have a flying move. We have no flying or ground moves. It's really just agitating. Here's the battle. We got a Pidgey, and we're going to use 4 Poison Stings to knock out the Pidgey. Very good. Now the Pidgeotto comes out. We do have very good defense, and also we are flying type, so it's not going to go for Mud Slap. So it's just going to go for Gust or Tackle. We resist Gust. Actually, no, we don't. Do we resist it? We're ground type. It doesn't matter. We get the win over Pidgeotto. We get the win over Faulkner. We get the Zephyr Badge. We're going to leave here and go right into Union Cave, and we're going to get our next first real good move. I wouldn't say good. Swift isn't a great move, but it's much better than Poison Sting, I'll tell you that. It's 4 times better than Poison Sting. So we go ahead and beat the Rocket trainers in the Slowpoke well, and now we're going to face Bugsy's gym. Now, Bugsy's gym is where we're going to utilize how powerful Swift is. We are already over leveled. We're already over level 20, and we're not even done with Bugsy's gym. Usually, you're at level like 18 or maybe 19 when you finish Bugsy's gym, but we're already over leveled going in here. And like I said, we had to. All we had was Poison Sting. So I faced every trainer along the way from, Faulkner's gym to Bugsy's gym. And in doing so, we got ourselves to the point where, we got over leveled. And honestly, over leveling, it's going to happen in this game. I think I mentioned it before. It's just kind of like redundant to try to avoid over leveling. You're going to over level. You're going to face a lot of trainers, even though there's some trainers that are just so low level at the time you meet them. But there's so much volume in things that you're forced to face, like Team Rocket. If you compare what you have to face in Team Rocket from Pokemon Crystal to Pokemon Blue, not even close. There's way less rockets you have to engage with. It's forced engagement is what I call it. So there's a lot of things about this Pokemon that if we tried to stay at the, if we did like a Nuzlocke, this would be bad. Because we'd have to stay at the level of the gym leaders and we wouldn't be able to over level. So that would be pretty concerning if we were doing that, but we're not. In a solo challenge, you can over level as much as you need to. It just takes time. It's about how fast you beat the game, not how low level you beat the game. It's about speedrunning. So now we're facing Bugsy. Bugsy, Swift is going to be a 2-shot on the Metapod. And we're going to use a combination of Swift and Quick Attack to save some power points. I don't know why we're doing that. Just go for, just go for Swift twice. It's a knockout. We're going to go heal right after this anyway because we got to face our rival. And Fury Cutter does nothing, but we get to knock out over Scyther and beat Bugsy. Bugsy was pretty easy. Super easy, barely an inconvenience, to be honest with you. Now we're actually going to take the move from Bugsy and take it into the next battle. We're going to use Fury Cutter. Fury Cutter is going to be a better solution to get rid of Ghastly than to use Poison Sting. Poison Sting and Fury Cutter are both resisted by Ghastly, so look how little this power is, 2 and 3. However, Fury Cutter, when you start hitting moves in a row, it does kind of double its power output. There you go. So now we're doing a lot more. There's 22, there's 45, boom. Now we're up to 90-something, 180 actually, 180, boom. And do we get one more? If we get one more with Zubat, we can get the knockout. Nope, we don't get the knockout, but we get pretty close. And then you just go for Swift, get the knockout, get the win over Zubat. And we're going to beat our rival and move right onto the forest. We're going to pick up a move here. We're going to pick up a Super Potion right there. And then we're going to go pick up this TM for Headbutt. Headbutt will be an improvement over a bunch of other moves. And we're going to move right on to Goldenrod, where I went ahead and, faced a couple trainers and grabbed a couple items. But I grabbed this item, which is Rollout. And I thought Rollout was a move that we could actually teach this Pokemon, but we can't. So we cannot use Rollout. That is my mistake. Even though I have the moves right next to me on the screen, I did not look at them and notice that we cannot use that move. No bother. We're going to move right on to face Whitney. Whitney is the normal gym leader. When we beat her, we're getting a nice boost to our normal moves. If you're looking at our stats right now, or I'm sorry, looking at our moves, we have Headbutt and Swift. Both of them are higher than their base. It's because we have the Pink Bow. We backtracked and got the Pink Bow, gives a 10% boost to all normal moves. We're going to face Clefairy first. Clefairy goes down to 1 Headbutt. Miltank comes out. We're going to go for 2 Headbutts, and she goes for Rollout. Doesn't do anything. We beat her pretty easy, super easy, barely an inconvenience. We took 3 damage, a whole whopping 3 damage. Like I said, we are still a little bit over leveled. We're level 28. We get the win, and we're going to move right on and face this Sudowoodo, which is the rock tree thing. And it looks like a tree and acts like a tree, but it's rock type. It doesn't make sense. So now he's going to come out, and we're going to go for Headbutt, which isn't going to do much at all. We're going to go for Feint Attack. It doesn't do much at all. There's really not a great move here. Good news is it can't really hurt us because even if it had a move that hurt flying, it's kind of neutralized by ground. We get the win, and we're going to move right on to the Lake of Rage and pick up Hidden Power. Now, we went with Hidden Power Ground in this playthrough. That will give us a stab move. In ground type, there's a lot of things that are weak to ground or that's super effective, and it goes off our physical attack stat. So that's why I went that route. In our optimized playthrough, we're going to have a ground move. We're going to have flying moves, so we don't have to do that. We're going to have to think of something better with our Hidden Power if we actually need one. But in this playthrough, Hidden Power Ground is our bread and butter. It actually makes the next gym leader super easy, barely an inconvenience. And now we're going to face Umbreon. This is a good test to see how powerful we actually are. We get a critical, so that wasn't a great test because critical hits are going to skip over all of our stats anyway and just crit. So not a good litmus test there to see how powerful we are. Umbreon's very bulky. That's why I'm saying that. So if we can one-shot the Umbreon, we're in a good spot when it comes to our physical attack stat and our moves. However, critical hit just skipped over all that and gave us no information, so we learned nothing from that. However, we are knocking out the rest of these Pokemon. We beat the final Jolteon, the final Evolution, and we move right on to face our rival. Our rival is going to be in the Burnt Mansion, and he's going to lead out with, I believe he leaves out with a Ghastly or a Golbat. It's one of the two. It's a Haunter. If Haunter comes out, I'm going to go for Hidden Power Ground on the Haunter. Very good. We'll go for Hidden Power Ground on... Nope. We're going to go for Headbutt on the Crocodile. Get the flinch. He does no damage to us. Very good. And then we're going to have Zubat come out. We're going to hit Headbutt on the Zubat. And then Magnemite. We're 420 effective power against Magnemite because it's 4 times weak to ground moves. Get the win over our rival. We're going to fall through the floor and land right in front of Morty. Morty. And he's going to come out with a Ghastly, 2 Haunters, and a Gengar. And now Hidden Power is a good move to have here. We actually could use Feint Attack if we wanted to as well. We did that against a couple other trainers to save some power points. However, we're just going to go for broke on all these and just go for Hidden Power. It's a one-shot across the board. Not even an issue. We outspeed, so we're not going to take any damage from any of them. We get a very clean, very easy win over Morty. And we're going to move right on to old Chucky Boy's gym. Now, Chucky Boy's gym is fighting type, and we resist fighting because we are flying type. So he doesn't really have anything great to use against us. The one thing he does have is the next Pokemon that we're about to face, which is Hitmonchan, does have Ice Punch. So Ice Punch can be deadly. We're going to go for Return on the Hitmon League. Very good. And now we're going to face the next trainer here, and he's going to have a Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan does have Ice Punch. That's the one thing I'm worried about here, is if he gets an Ice Punch off. But no, he does get an Ice Punch, and we do get frozen, so this could have been bad. If this was Gen 1, the battle would have been over, and we'd have to take a reset. However, we do defrost, and we do knock out the Hitmonchan. And so now we're not going to learn Slash. We don't need it. We're going to go ahead and face this next trainer, and we should be clean sailing, or easy sailing from here on out. Because we got Return. Return's super powerful. We have Pink Bow equipped, and we're just one-shotting everything. And like I said, we're over-leveled. We're at level 36. I'm pretty sure the Primeape in here is only... I'm sorry, not the Primeape. The Poliwrath in here is level 30. So we're already 6 levels above that. And we're about to get another level here. Mankey comes out. We're going to go ahead and hit Return on the Mankey. And the next Mankey, we're going to go ahead and beat him as well. And then the last Pokemon, which is a Primeape, which is like 2 levels lower than Chucky Boy's Primeape. And we get a one-shot, so that means we should get a one-shot on Chucky Boy's Primeape. So he's going to throw a boulder, and now we're going to face Chucky Boy. I call him Chucky Boy because I don't like calling him Chuck. He's just not a good gym leader at all. I don't know how you have less Pokemon than, the second gym leader, which is Bugsy. I just don't. He should be progressing more, and it kind of irritates me. But we get the knockout over Poliwrath. Surf, we actually tank it pretty well, and we get the win, and we're going to move right on to the Lake of Rage. We're going to face a hulked out Gyarados. We don't exactly have a great move for Gyarados. It's going to come out and go for Return, and it looks like it's going to be a 2-shot. It could have been worse if we went for a water move. We didn't have a lot of health. I didn't realize that going into the battle, but we'll take it. Now we're going to face Price. Price is the Ice Gym Leader. We've actually added another move to our moveset, which is Sludge Bomb. It's a 90 base power poison move. Like I said, I don't know why this Pokemon gets it. Maybe they had every intention of making this Pokemon like a ground poison or a flying poison Pokemon, but they didn't. It is what it is. We get the one-hit knockout over Seal. We get a 2-hit on Dugong. Roar Beam did so much damage there. Oh my lord. Now, if this Pokemon were to hit a Blizzard, it'd probably knock us out. So we're going to get a 2-hit right here. Very good. If it hit that Blizzard, we'd have been knocked out for sure. So Price, we get lucky. We get by him. And now we're going to move right on and face... Well, actually, we're going to talk to Jasmine first. We're going to make sure the Ampharis is healthy. He flashes us. Hey, I'm feeling better. Whee! And now she's going to leave. We're going to follow her, and we're going to go right into her gym. We have a good move for her, so we don't have a lot of problems here. This is the toughest gym leader probably in this game, and we don't have any problems with her because we have Hidden Power Ground. 4 times effective against both the Magnemites. So 1 hit on the first Magnemite, 1 hit on the second Magnemite. We don't have to worry about getting paralyzed. So now we're facing the Steelix. Steelix looks like it's going to be about a 2-shot. It is a 2-shot. We get a pretty easy win over Jasmine. We actually grabbed the Iron Tail TM, which, like I said, we can use. We're not going to use it, but we could use it if we wanted to. I couldn't think of a niche for it. I'd like to use Iron Tail in a playthrough. The next Pokemon we're playing through in this series is Steelix, so maybe I'll get to use it then. So now we're facing our, fourth rival battle, and Return's going to knock out the Golbat. Very good. It's going to come out with a Feraligatr. Feraligator's going to go down to 2 Returns. Water Gun tickles us a little bit. And we get the knockout. Very good. Moving on to, the Magnemite or the Haunter? It's one of the two. Magnemite or Haunter. I paused for dramatic effect there. Go for Hidden Power Ground on the Sneasel. Very good. And just stick with Hidden Power Ground. We'll knock out Magnemite, and it'll also knock out the Haunter. Pretty easy win, honestly, over our rival. He really isn't giving us much of a problem, and I don't anticipate that being a problem in the second round, the optimized playthrough I'm doing next Friday, or next Wednesday. So we beat our rival, and we'll move right on to Claire. This is part of our rival sandwich. She is the Dragon Master, and she's going to lead out with 3 dragons and a Kingdra. Dragonair, we're going to go for a Return on the Dragonair. It is a 1-shot, very good. Dragonair number 2, it is also a 1-shot, very good. Dragonair number 3, it's a Kingdra, I'm sorry. But Kingdra goes down to 2 Returns, very good. And then the last Pokemon is Dragonair number 3, and it's going to go down to 1 return. If Kingers are going down to 2, it's going down to 1. We get the win over Claire. She whines and complains and moans that she has to give us our badge, but we eventually do get it. And now we're going to go ahead and go to Victory Road and face our final rival battle of the game. He's going to lead out with a Sneasel Pleasel. Sneasel Pleasel will come out, and whenever he gets there, you're a little bit later than my talking. Hurry up. He's going to get there, and now we're going to go ahead and face our final rival battle of the game. Sneasel comes out, and I am just pausing for dramatic effect here, ain't I? Sneasel comes out, we're going to go for Return. Hidden Power Ground is a 1-hit knockout, very good. Go for Return on the Feraligatr. It's a 2-shot. Water Gun tickles us a little bit. Sludge Bomb knocks out the Feraligatr. We are going to learn Guillotine here. We no longer have a need for Feint Attack. Guillotine could have been utilized a lot more. I didn't utilize it that much in the Elite Four and in the post game. So you'll see that here in a minute. But we 2-shot the Golbat, and we have 2 Pokemon left. We're going to go for Return on the Kadabra, very good. Then we have a Haunter, is going to go down to 1 Hidden Power Ground. And then Magneton is our last Pokemon. It is 4 times weak to Hidden Power Ground, so we will 1-shot it as well. We beat our rival, and now we're going to go ahead and head into the Pokemon League to face the Elite Four. We are now in the Pokemon League. We've made all the preparations for the Elite Four. We've taken our Pokemon that are HM friends and put them in the computer. We bought a couple of forward stores as well. And the last thing we need to do is review our moves and our stats before we head in and take on Will. Moves are as follows: Return, Hidden Power Ground, Sludge Bomb, and Guillotine. I want to talk about Guillotine really quick. We don't usually use this move. This is a 30% accurate move. However, it is a boom or bust kind of move, where if it does hit, it's an automatic 1-shot. 30% accuracy, you could waste all these power points and never hit a Pokemon and just waste a lot of time and potentially cost yourself a battle. So very much a boom or bust kind of play. It does come in handy later in the Kanto section, but right now we don't really use this. We just want to have it on our moveset in case we need it later. And now let's go over the stats. Stats for this Pokemon are as follows. That went way too fast. We'll just go over the in-battle stats because that's the ones that are going to matter. Attack is 137, defense is 174, special attack is 93, special defense is 114, and speed is 151. Special attack being 93 is really not an issue. We have no special moves with this Pokemon, so let's head in and take on Will. Will is a Psychic Specialist of the Elite Four, and he's going to lead out with a Xatu. We don't have a great move for Xatu. Maybe Guillotine would have worked here. However, Return is going to be a 2-shot. We're not going to get the 1-shot with this Pokemon, and we're going to get a 2-shot. Very good. Now we are confused, and that's not good going into Jinx. Jinx has Ice Punch. We are 4 times weak to Ice Punch. I don't know why Will was going for Double Slap. His AI is just an idiot. I don't know why you should go for Ice Punch immediately. I don't even know why you consider another move. However, we have to take a reset, our first reset of the game. So let's go ahead and take on Will again. And here we go. Here comes Will, and we're going to do the same thing with Xatu. Now, Xatu can capitulate and give us a much better outcome here by going for something like Psychic or Future Sight would have been good. Quick Attack would have been fine. Anything but Confused Ray, because now we can 1-shot the Jinx. Very good. And then we're going to move on to the Slowbro. We are pretty powerful as a physical attacker here because Slowbro is usually pretty bulky and takes a couple turns to knock out, but we get a 2-hit knockout on Slowbro using Return. And then Xatu number 2 comes out a little bit higher level. We get a range. We don't quite knock it out. It heals. It confuses us. All those things are happening right now. And we hit ourselves a couple times. We get our health diminished. And we still have to make a 2-hit on the Xatu. We knock him out. Very good. And that leaves out 1 Pokemon Executor. If it hits us 1 time, we're going to lose. However, Sludge Bomb does 1-shot this Pokemon, making it so we get through Will by the skin of our teeth. And we're going to move right on and face Koga. Koga is the Poison Specialist of the Elite Four. He leads out with an Ariados. I don't understand why Ariados is not weak to our ground move. It's Hidden Power Ground. It's supposed to be weak to because it's Poison type. I guess the Bug maybe counters that. I don't know. But now we're going to face on Fortress. Fortress will go down to 3 Hidden Power Grounds. Very good. And that leads out the next Pokemon, which is going to be Crobat. Crobat is a Pokemon that is kind of trolly. It's going to go for Double Team and make it so we can't hit it. It's going to lower our accuracy. Well, it doesn't really lower our accuracy. It lowers his evasive. It increases his evasiveness. But Return will still be a 2-shot. We do get poisoned. This poison, though, is inconsequential because Muck comes out. We're going to go for Hidden Power Ground on the Muck. It's a 1-shot because it's 2 times effective. And now Venomoth comes out, and we're going to go for Return on the Venomoth. And then Return on the Venomoth will 1-shot. Very good. We beat Koga. Like I said, the poison was inconsequential. And now we're going to heal up and face Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. He's usually the lost member of the Elite Four, but he comes out with a Hitmontop. Actually, Crystal Bruno is not that bad. It's not as bad as Gen 1 Bruno. But we're going to go for Sludge Bomb on the Hitmontop, get the 2-hit knockout. Hitmonchan comes out, go for Return. It's not a 1-shot. Ice Punch does a lot of damage. It's a crit. Luckily, Hitmonchan has very low special attack, so it didn't do that much damage to us. Return. Nope. We're going to go for Guillotine here. And here's the problem with Guillotine. There's 3 Guillotines in a row. 3 misses in a row, and we've wasted turns, where return would have 2-shot, and we probably could have survived this battle if we just gone for return right away. However, we don't one-shot the Onix, and we get knocked out by an Onix. We get knocked out by a damn Onix. It is what it is. But let's go ahead and face Bruno one more time. He's going to lead out, like I said, again, with Hitmontop. And by a combination of return and Sludge Bomb, we're going to knock out Hitmontop. It's going to be a 2-hit no matter what. It's going to hit us with Quick Attack. Return, come on, go ahead and Quick Attack on us. I don't know why it's going for Quick. I mean, it can't go for Dig. That's probably why. Dig will miss us because we are Flying type. So it won't hit us at all. That's why it's not going for Dig. So Quick Attack is its default move to go to. We knock out the Hitmonchan. We have a lot more health because it didn't crit on that Ice Punch this time. We'll go for Hidden Power Ground on the Onix. It's going to be a 2-shot. Rock Slide does very little damage to us, so we have 2 Pokemon left. We have a return on the Hitmon League. It's not a critical or nothing. It was a 1-shot. And now Hitmonchamp, I'm just kidding, Machamp comes out with return. It's going to be a 2-hit. We knock it out, and we move right on to Karen. Now, Karen is usually the problem trainer in the Elite Four for everyone, not just for this Pokemon, for any Pokemon. Because Umbreon is hard to knock out. It's going to sand attack you, it can confuse you, and it starts to battle off just on like awkward footing. However, we do power through, even though we get below 100 in health. We do knock it out. Actually, we get down to 80, so we're just below half health, and we have 4 Pokemon left. Murkrow comes out. We need a 1-shot here. We get the 1-shot here. Very good. The next Pokemon that comes out is Houndoom. Houndoom will go down to 1 Hidden Power Ground. It's 2 times weak, so we get the knockout there. And now Vileplume. If Vileplume would have gone for something completely different, it would have been bad. If it had gone for Stun Spore and paralyzed us, this could have been bad because the Gengar could get a chance to hurt us. It could get a chance to Destiny Bond, use Spite, whatever, or Curse. But we get the knockout over Karen. We 1-shot with Hidden Power Ground and move right on to Lance, the liar with the flyers, as my guy Squidgy would say. He's going to lead out with a Gyarados. Now, Gyarados, if he just went for Surf, might actually just 1-shot us. However, he always likes to set up the rain, so he's going to go for Rain Dance. Sludge Bomb is not even 50% damage. I don't know why I went for that. Maybe I'm just trying to prevent a heal. That's probably why. I don't think I was going to 1-shot him. And then Dragonite comes out. Now, something special about this Pokemon. We are Ground type. So Thunder Wave is not an option for this Pokemon. That's why we're getting these weird outcomes where we're going for like Twister and things like that. Because usually Dragonite likes to go for Thunder Wave, but it won't hit us because we're Ground type. So we get a 2-hit knockout on the Aerodactyl. These are 2 Pokemon left. We have Charizard. Charizard will go down to 2 returns. Very good. And then we have 1 Pokemon left. As long as we can survive any attack from Dragonite, it goes for Outrage. We tank it, and we get the knockout over Dragonite, over Lance. And that's going to get our Elite Four time at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 16 seconds. Not a bad time considering how much time we have to spend in the early game trying to just, get through things with just Poison Sting. We're going to have a much better second round when we play through this optimized next week. The next thing we have to do is go to Kanto and beat 8 more gym leaders and then face Red. I'll see you guys in Kanto. In Kanto, we're going to take on the first gym leader, which is Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge really does not have a good option here. He is an electric type, we are ground type, so Hidden Power Ground should pretty much 1-shot across the board. The only thing we might not 1-shot is the Electabuzz because it's pretty bulky. But Magneton goes down because it's 4 times effective. Electabuzz, this is a 1-shot. It is a 1-shot. Okay, so all we have to do is hit the Volt Electrodes and we'll get the win. Hidden Power Ground number 1 and Hidden Power Ground on Electrode number 2. Very good, we get the win. We take pretty much no damage. We get the win here and we move right on to Erica. We're going to fly through these gym leaders. These gym leaders are pretty much inconsequential. I said there's really nothing that can be super effective against us. The only gym that really has anything super effective against us is going to be Misty's gym. And we're going to take that on a little bit later. We're going to have to do that right now. Ran out of power points for Sludge Bomb. We would have 1-shot the Blossom here if we didn't run out of power points. So that's a little bit of misplay on my part. But Return still gets the job done. We have 2 more Pokemon left. We're going to have Return on the Victory Bell. It's a 1-shot. Does Jump Off a 1-shot? I think it is. Yes, it is. Okay, good. So we beat Erica. While these battles are happening, I'm not going to comment on all these battles. Like I said, the only one that's going to be kind of tough is maybe Blue and Misty, and then we'll talk about Red. A couple things I want to talk about with this channel. So next week, we're doing a Gligar playthrough, an optimized playthrough. So we'll go over this at the end, but what I want to explain is that the whole point of the optimized playthrough is to kind of get the best possible version of this Pokemon and then play through Pokemon Crystal and see how good this Pokemon can be when you kind of jack it up a little bit on steroids. All gas, no brakes, the best case scenario for this Pokemon. That's why we do Egg moves. That's why we do, maybe it's a Pokemon traded back from a previous generation with a better move set. Things like that. That's why we do those things. We want to see the best possible version of this Pokemon. And like in the future, we'll do like what ifs and things like that. But that's what we're doing in these playthroughs. That's what we do in the optimized playthrough, I should say. The first playthrough like this one is just load up the Pokemon, look at its move pool, have a little bit of knowledge of the game of where we're going to struggle based on the move pool and where we can get X move and Y move and whatnot, and then play through. And then the second one, take a little bit of that information, apply it, and then play through again with a lot more information, a slightly better move pool, and just a lot more knowledge of the game. We're beating Blaine right now. I'm not going to talk about the Blaine battle. We have Hidden Power Ground, which is going to be super effective against all the Pokemon. I would be surprised if we didn't one-shot everyone. And then some other things with the channel. We are still doing the Ground type challenge in Generation 1. We have a Pokemon coming out this Friday. It's Sandslash. And then we have 2 more Ground types. And then we'll give a kind of a re-ranking, or a ranking, I should say, of the Ground type Pokemon in Generation 1. And then the next type we're going to do in that challenge is the Rock type. We have a couple Rock type that are Rock Ground. We excluded them from the Ground type challenge. Whenever we get to the end and we look at all the types, I'm going to basically, anyone that's dual type will just be shown in all the typing explanations when it's all said and done. And if you haven't seen that series, I recommend you check it out. It's a good series. I have a bunch of types already done. Some Pokemon probably need to get a third run because they've gotten so close to getting like under 40 minutes and getting near that top tier. Right now, we're going to comment on the battle with Blue. Blue is going to come out. He's got a Pidgeot. Pidgeot will go down to 2 returns, or 1 return. We get a critical hit. That's very nice. And now Gyarados comes out. Gyarados will come out, and he usually likes to go for Rain Dance. Is he going to go for Rain Dance? He is. We do not get the 2-shot, so we get hit by Hydro Pump. Does a lot of damage to us. He goes for a full restore, and now we are kind of in a bad spot. Unless we get the knockout. We do get the knockout. We have 62 hit points left. We still have the pink bow equipped. We're not replenishing health like we usually do because we forgot to add on the leftovers. And now we have Rhydon come out. Rhydon will go down to 2 Hidden Power Grounds and get the knockout. Very good. We have 2 Pokemon left, and then one of them is Arcanine. Arcanine probably... nope, it's not going to knock out. Okay. Arcanine probably could have been a Guillotine move. Try to get that 1-hit knockout before it hits us with Flamethrower. Go for Return on the Pidgeot. See, it's not a one-shot because we don't get a critical hit this time. Next Pokemon comes out is Gyarados. Gyarados comes out, we'll go for Sludge Bomb on the Gyarados. We don't have a great move for Gyarados. We don't have anything that gives us enough oomph. We did give ourselves Soft Sand to make our ground attacks a little bit more powerful, but now that makes our return weaker. So we're not in 2-shot range on the Gyarados. So we're going to try this one more time, and hopefully we can get a little bit of a better luck here. Maybe we go for Guillotine. Maybe that's the play. Return on the Pidgeot. Same outcome. It's a 2-hit. Very good. Now we move on to the Gyarados. Gyarados, go for Guillotine. It's a 1-shot. We completely avoid all the water issues because that's the one thing we're weak to. That nice. So we avoid that altogether. Return on the Alakazam. And unless someone just gets a critical hit or something like that, we are in a good spot right now. And the Soft Sand gives us the range to 1-shot the Arcanine. And we're going to go ahead and go for Hidden Power Ground on the Rhydon. Let's go for Rock Slide. It does nothing to us. And now we have 1 Pokemon left, which we have Sludge Bomb still. So Sludge Bomb should be nope, it's not a 1-shot. It's going to heal. He's going to get in the healing loop. He's got a couple full restores he's going to use. And he's going to heal one more time. We are poisoned, and he has Leech Seed enabled, so that's fun. However, we're still going to get a 2-shot no matter what. And then one more. All we got to do is hit 1 more Sludge Bomb. Very good. We get the win over Blue. Not as bad a battle as I thought, but I definitely should have utilized Guillotine. Maybe I should have used some rare candies for this battle. But now we're going to head in and face Red. Now, here's the thing about Red. I'll pause it for a second. This is a first try attempt at Red. This is where Guillotine really can shine if it works properly. Pikachu is the first Pokemon. We have Hidden Power Ground. It's going to be a 1-shot. We outspeed and knock it out. Very good. The next Pokemon that comes out is Blastoise. Guillotine 1-shots the Blastoise, and that is the only Pokemon that has a move that we're weak to, which is Surf and Blizzard. It could have easily 1-shot us. However, we get the good range, or the good roll when it comes to accuracy. Get a 2-hit knockout on the Espeon. I think it has Reflect Up, so we're not doing that much damage. And now it leads out with Snorlax. We'll go for Guillotine on the Snorlax. The second attempt knocks it out. So we have knocked out 2 of Red's Pokemon with Guillotine. We're getting good luck here. We're going to go for Guillotine on the Charizard. We are, and we get the knockout. So this is when this move can really come in handy. We have 1 left, so I'm like, we might as well just go for it. Nope, we don't get the knockout. Very good. It is what it is. I didn't anticipate that. I was like, we're getting some pretty good luck here. So let's go ahead and we're going to return. As long as we can tank this Solar Beam, we are going to knock him out with return. Venusaur goes down, and we beat Red on our first attempt, and then beat the game at 1 hour, 56 minutes, and 45 seconds with 4 resets. So I got a couple things I want to talk about real quick. We have an optimized playthrough coming out next week. We have 4 things that we can use when it comes to egg moves. We have Counter, Metal Claw, Razor Wind, and Wing Attack. Obviously, Wing Attack is one we're going to use. Metal Claw is a close second, but I'm not using counter or wing attack. However, the whole point of the second playthrough is why I mentioned it earlier, is to take the best version of this Pokemon and play through and see what this Pokemon can do with as the best possible version of itself. So there is an event Pokemon called Earthquake Gligar, and it comes with Earthquake, Wing Attack, and Counter. This would drastically change what we can do with this Pokemon, because this Pokemon does not have any ground moves the entire game. We had to use Hidden Power Ground, which means we can use a different Hidden Power to counter some other problems. Maybe Hidden Power Rock to counter like our flying Pokemon problems that we're having, like with Charizard and like with Gyarados and other flying Pokemon. We can maybe use Hidden Power Ice to counter some things, even though we don't have great special. May not be the greatest idea. Just a thought. Or maybe we don't use Hidden Power at all and just go max, IVs and have Hidden Power Dark. And that would be a decent move to have for some parts of the game, but Dark moves are special, so maybe not. But it's something I can consider. So I'm probably going to go with the event move Gligar, because it just comes with so much good stuff, and I'm going to have such a fun time having 2 stab moves from jump. This will be a very fast playthrough. We're still going to utilize some TMs throughout the course of the game, but because we have 2 moves that we didn't anticipate having before, I'm going to have to be a little bit more judicial about what moves I have. Let's go and look at the tier list for this Pokemon. For the second playthrough in a row, we have a Pokemon that on its first playthrough ends up immediately behind Yanma. We have a time of 116 minutes and 45 seconds, or 1 hour and 36 minutes and 45 seconds. Yanma's time is 1 hour and 15 minutes and 54 seconds. Do I think we're going to obliterate this time? Abso-freaking-lutely. We're going to obliterate this time. This Pokemon getting 2 stab moves from the jump that are both physical stab moves, and we outspeed a lot of things, and then we can utilize some other hidden power or whatever to counter some other problems we endured. There's a lot of things that are going to go really well with this Pokemon in the second playthrough. I don't think it went bad in this one. The only problem is we are just knowledgeable about the game. So in the early game, we just took our time. We just over leveled a little bit, took our time to get through with Poison Sting only, and we ended up having not the worst time ever. But in the second playthrough, we're going to obliterate this time. So I want to thank you all for stopping by. Make sure you check out my video on Friday. It's going to be a playthrough of Pokemon Blue with Sandslash. We're going to start out fully evolved, play through, and see how well it does. It's a very good Pokemon. It just has a really bad start because it starts out with just Scratch, and you don't get anything cool until level 17 where it gets Slash. But this Pokemon was fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz, and I'll see you guys next time.